How many years have you been growing your hair for?
17. I get looks. I always get a question. Is it real? How do you wash it? Can I touch? I always get those three questions. I have a son.
Okay.
I had him at 17.
Do you guys ever go to bars together? Like,
we went to the club. I love Taiwan. I've never felt this safe in my life. But the China thing, you kind of have to keep that in mind. My dad would call me up and be like, hey, what's going on over there?
Cole Fogel here, and today I am with Kareem.
Hey.
I want to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because I think of the NBA player, right?
My dad was a huge Laker fan. So
okay.
That's where he got the name.
Kareem, where are you from originally?
I was born in Georgetown, Guyana. That is in South America.
Okay.
But I moved to Belize, which is in Central America, and I grew up there.
Okay, so what language did you grow up speaking?
English, both English-speaking countries. Coincidentally, both countries are the only English-speaking country in the region.
Because when you say Guyana, I'm like picturing some exotic, I don't know.
It is very exotic, but it's English-speaking. It's actually considered part of the Caribbean, both countries. They're not islands, but they're beside the sea.
Because you totally have that Caribbean accent.
Yes.
When did you move to Taiwan? What year was that?
I moved 2020. Well,
at the beginning of the pandemic.
We all know COVID happened. Belize is a very high tourist industry country.
Okay. Yeah.
So Belize took a huge hit. And
you mean it was rough?
Because no one was coming in. That's how we make our money.
You mean they closed down?
They closed the borders.
Like what Taiwan did.
Yep. Tourism is how the country makes money. So it was tough times, and I had to make a tough decision. And
so that's what got you here?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The pandemic hit, money wasn't great there, and you were like, well, what do I do?
Well, let me come and do my master's.
Oh, you came here to do your master's? Oh, what school were you going to?
Isho University.
Oh, Isho, okay.
Isho, yeah.
Okay, so you came here in 2020.
Yes.
Who did you come here with?
Well, I have a son.
Okay.
I had him at 17, very early.
You were 17?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
You
17.
were a kid still.
I was a kid doing adult things, I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah.
But a child is a blessing no matter how it comes into the world, or regardless of the situation.
Are you currently with the lady that you had?
No. We were high school sweethearts.
Were you raising him from day one?
We were co-parenting.
Co-parenting. Yeah. Okay, cool.
The thing is, we lived so close. So it was
convenient.
It was convenient. It was easy. And then she had another child because she moved on. I mean, we both moved on.
Oh, okay.
Because she needed help, so I kind of had my son a little bit more, which was awesome for me.
That's really cool. I mean, I think it's often the mother. It's nice that the father, like that you got to be the guy or like the one that was more involved.
I wanted to end the cycle because my dad wasn't really there for me, so it was important to be there for my son. Yeah. And when you have a son, you just need, in my opinion, you just need a male presence
100%,
around.
yeah, 100%.
When I came here 2020, he was a senior in high school.
Wow.
And I was
how old is that? That's
he was 17 himself.
17. Wow.
So
that's so crazy.
Crossed. I was like, please don't do anything. Anyhow, don't follow me.
Don't have children at 17.
I came here first.
Oh, okay.
And then I, just planted the idea in his head. Hey, just apply, see what happens. So he did.
Were you living in Taipei at the beginning?
No, we had to Taoyuan, and we had to take a quarantine taxi and then come straight down to Kaohsiung.
Okay, so and then did you stay in a quarantine hotel?
Quarantine hotel, 2 weeks.
Why Kaohsiung? Like that's where school was?
Yeah.
When did your son come over here?
Okay, so I came 2020 and set up everything. And I have to give a tribute to him because he was just so mature in handling it back home because he had to apply, he had to get all the certificates and everything authenticated.
Oh, yeah.
By both embassies. So he came 2021 because he got into a school in Tainan, which is Kunshan University, doing mechanical engineering. And so he came 2021. And his quarantine was worse than mine because at least my quarantine had a window.
Oh my
His
God,
one,
he didn't have a window?
He was just in a room for 2 weeks.
No,
no,
that's
I was
jail.
so upset about that. I called the hotel and like, is there anything? No.
How could there be a room with no window?
It still upsets me to think about.
So he did 14 days with no window.
No window. But you know, these young generation, he had his Xbox on the phones, and he had his schoolwork to do too. He was good, but for me, I was more upset than he was.
It was harder for you, yeah, for sure. It's your boy, obviously.
Yeah.
So exactly a year later, your son came.
Yeah.
How's university? Is he still in university?
Yes, he's going to finish in 2025.
How's he adjusting to life here?
I think he's done better than I have, to be honest. Cause like I would call him, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to Taichung, or oh, I'm going to Kenting. So he's moving around more than I am.
Okay, right now he's what? Is he about 18 now?
He's 19. He's about to be 20.
He's a man now.
Yeah,
So I want to talk about dating for a minute here. So you're a single guy here currently. Your son is of dating age.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking, do you guys ever go to bars together? Like,
we went to the club.
Isn't that interesting?
It was super interesting because he was there talking to girls, getting numbers. And I'm just like, okay.
Like, well, what's that like? But what's that like though? Like having like a fully grown son. Like my oldest son is 13, so like I'm not quite at that.
It's humbling because you know, the things I instilled in him, you can see him practice it daily, and he's like, hey, wow, he actually listens.
What values are really important to you that you see him living now?
Show love, I think, just because this macho thing, and like I kiss my son still, although he's about to be 20. I tell him I love him. He could call me and be like, okay, Dad, bye-bye, okay, love you. And he would initiate it.
I think that's a real man, personally.
I would agree. I always remember, you know, Paul Walker, the actor that died.
Of course, yeah.
I remember they interviewed his dad, and he was in tears, and he said, you know, the one thing I don't regret is I always told my son I loved him.
So important.
And that's the last thing he told his son, that I love you. And to me, it's like, we don't know when.
Yeah. You don't know when.
You don't know, so.
Tomorrow may not be. You don't know. The culture here is not very huggy, lovey-dovey, feely. There's a lot of emotional suppression, I think. And maybe the values are different here, like making money, providing as a father. And that's all important.
Yeah.
But tell your kid that you love them right after you watch this episode. In fact, pause this episode right now and tell your kid that you love them. If you don't live with your kid, call them. Tell them you love them.
You can't just assume that they know. It doesn't take that much out of you either.
I mean, there's knowing, but then there's really knowing.
Yeah, it's true.
Feeling it.
Feeling it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Okay, any other values that you?
I think to be responsible in the situation. To be responsible in all aspects,
right?
Not only that one.
But you can't say that you made a mistake, because otherwise you wouldn't have this beautiful son that you have, right?
I don't consider me having a child.
But you did also give up part of your childhood having a son.
I call it a life-altering.
Yeah, life-altering
decision or a life-altering situation. Yeah. I don't call it a mistake ever.
Were there growing pains though, like raising him at such a young age?
Yeah, because I had to provide. I had to stop school and I had to do night school.
Oh wow.
And then I had to odd jobs here and there. I was a security guard at one spell.
I could see you being a security guard. You were a personal trainer before, right?
I had a lot of odd jobs back home, and that was one of them, yeah.
And I was going to say, and he kind of showed me some ropes with how to exercise properly a few months ago, because I just started getting into weightlifting, and you've greatly inspired me. Like,
thank you, man.
When I met you and we chatted about that, and you feel more confident when you lift weights, actually.
Yeah,
like, I feel better.
And if you have any aggression, I don't know, the day I'm angry, I just go lift weights, and then I'm good after that. Yeah, but I would do it all again, because my son is just amazing.
So no regrets, obviously.
No regrets. I mean, I have an amazing child.
Dating in Taiwan. What's that like for you?
Dating is difficult. It's a gray area here, because if you meet a foreigner, then who is going to move to whose country? That's that problem you have to deal with. And then if you date someone that's local, then am I willing to stay in Taiwan for the rest of my life? I love Taiwan, but am I willing to stay for the rest of my life? Or is she willing to come to my country?
Right.
It's awesome to meet people, you know, I dated for, you know, sometimes to make friends. You know, yes, it might not work out romantically, but hey, you're still a pretty cool person. But there's always that big who is going to go where issue that I've faced.
So then I would make the assumption you're not sure if you want to stay here indefinitely or if you want to eventually move on from here.
Yeah, I'm not sure as yet.
What's your overall feeling of Taiwan in the 3 years and a bit that you've been here?
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Safe. I've never felt this safe.
So safe.
In my entire life. Especially coming from my countries, I've never felt this safe in my life.
Except for the traffic, maybe.
Yes, that's a very, very unsafe part
If you get the flow of it, though, you can survive.
That's true. That's true.
You're currently happy with your life here. You just don't know where the future is going to take you.
I don't know, but the China thing, you kind of have to keep that in mind. You don't know if it's going to happen.
You know, I never worry about that at all. But I think I can't live my life that way. It seems that the Western world is playing more crap on the news than here. CNN likes to over-exaggerate everything.
That's true, because my dad would call me up and be like, hey, what's going on over there? I'm like, what's going on over here? I don't know. What's going on? And it's like, look at the news. And then it's like, oh, China flew over Taiwan. That happens a lot.
It's different for me because, like, my children who are half Taiwanese, we can pick up and go back to Canada if we needed to. But then I've got my wife who's Taiwanese, her father, her mother, her brother, her sister, her other sister. But I don't know how I feel about leaving her family, to be honest with you.
And it's not only the China thing too, is I think at some point maybe I want a slower pace. So that's why I'm not too sure.
I mean, there's Yilan, Hualien, Taidong.
That's true, that's true.
Not that I'm trying to sell you, Kareem, you need to stay here.
I love Taiwan. I'm already sold. I would live in Kenting if I would. If I could.
Right?
Man, Kenting is, Kenting, I love Kenting.
Is that your favorite spot?
It's a tie between Kenting and Xiaoliocho.
Oh, Xiaoliocho is awesome.
I just went there a couple of weeks ago. I love that little island.
It's so chill and it's so close.
So chill. It's so close. Kaohsiung is very laid back compared to Taipei. But I mean, when I get older, I definitely want something more slow pace.
So what's your overall impression of the school system here?
I think it's too much schoolwork. Ironic because I'm a school teacher myself, and you can see the kids are affected by them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, like some kids will have twitches and...
Oh, do you think that's caused by...
It's too much pressure.
Like nervous or anxious?
And I hope I don't offend. And you could cut this out if you think it's offensive.
No, yeah.
But I feel that the schools are raising the kids here. It's not the parents raising the kids.
They're married to their work. The kids are married to the school. And then everyone's just so tired at the end of the day.
Education system alone is very good.
Yeah.
So the extra classes, maybe not so much. I just feel sorry for the kids. Let them come out more. Let them enjoy being a kid. Because when you're an adult, trust me, I was adult at 17. When you're an adult, there's no going back.
Because you became an adult at such a young age.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to be a kid.
Yeah.
So I do feel for the kids. A little bit more playtime. It doesn't have to be, a 90 is okay. An 85 is okay.
I mean, honestly, for me, a pass is okay. My thing that I always think about just in regards to work and school and money and all that kind of stuff, I think about my grandmother. She lived to be 100.
Wow.
And I held her hand on her deathbed. And I remember thinking, the only thing my grandmother cares about in this moment is the love that she felt for me, that I could feel in her hand, and her children were around her when she was dying. We place so much importance on school and work and all that, but at the end of the day, we're all going to die one day. And what really matters? Does whatever that car is or clothes or a certain type of house or certain lifestyle, does any of that matter at the end of the day when you're lying there dying?
Very true. I would definitely agree.
And can we find some gratitude just for life itself, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's very hard to do, to find that balance.
It is hard, a healthy balance.
It's so hard to do, the healthy balance. Because again, we do need the money.
Yeah, we need the money, we need the health.
We need to be with our family. So if you can find that balance.
So hard.
It's very hard to do.
Your hair.
Oh,
I have to comment about this. This gentleman's like the most beautiful, long, dreadlocked hair I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
many years have you been growing your hair for?
17. January is going to make 18, yeah. So yeah.
Like you haven't cut it
I haven't cut it in 17
in almost
years.
close to 18 years.
Close to 18 years, yeah.
One of our senses is in our hair. And apparently if you keep cutting your hair, you are actually cutting off part of your senses.
Oh, okay.
How do you maintain that?
It takes a long time to wash. It takes
Yeah.
a lot of shampoo. You have to soap it up really well. And drying it is the hardest part because
Hair dryer?
yeah,
or
the
like...
hair dryer, it stays wet for like almost a whole day. So I would need multiple towels, hair dryer, and then just let the breeze does its thing.
Why do you keep it so long? I think it's beautiful, but I'm just thinking more about the maintenance of it. What keeps you from just going, I can't take this anymore and just cutting it?
It's a way to express my individuality,
Okay.
one. In the Caribbean, there's a religion called Rastafarian.
I wasn't sure. I was going to say that and I wasn't sure if it was connected.
I don't follow the religion fully, but there's some things about the religion, Rastafarian, that I agree with.
Can you give me an example of some of the belief?
Well, it's just about positivity, and they do worship a different god, Selassie.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't really believe in that part too much.
Yeah.
But the positivity and the good vibes about the religion is something I think is pretty awesome. It is a hassle, I'm not gonna lie, but again, it's how I express my individuality. It shows patience, because it takes patience to take care of this. I know I need to trim it, because it is getting too long.
Yeah.
Dangerously long. Like on my scooter, I have to put it in my lap, because it's like by the wheel almost. And I get that question a lot. How do you maintain it? How do you wash it? Is it real?
And if you see him, please don't go up and grab his hair.
Because some people would come up and just, I get looks. I always get a question. Is it real? How do you wash it? Can I touch? I always get those three questions.
Is this a cross?
Yes, it is a cross.
Because what I wanted to ask you, you said you were raised Muslim?
No, my dad is Muslim.
Your dad, okay, so your dad is Muslim.
My mom is Christian. I was raised Christian.
You were raised Christian,
yeah,
okay.
Because I was with my mom.
Okay, your parents are divorced, okay. How
I'll be
old were you
37,
when they divorced?
I was about 8, so it was tough times.
Yeah, well, I come from a divorced family myself, and I hate the term broken family, because it's not broken, it's just different. You know?
Staying together for the child's sake never works.
No, because there'll be an underlying negativity between the two people.
Because I know a lot of parents have done that, and a lot of parents are currently doing that.
I think it could hurt them more.
It hurts the kid even more.
Because there's going to be this silent negativity.
But for me, that break was hard. I don't know for you.
I mean, I was like,
it was hard.
I was a teenager.
Being an adult now, I understand. But at that age,
Well, I appreciate this chat, brother.
Oh, man. Anytime.
Any final words of wisdom or anything you want to say before I close this off?
If you're new to Taiwan, give it a chance. Like, try to do some of the stuff that the local people do, because that's very fun as well.
Yeah.
When I first came here, I just stick to foreigner places or
it's easy to do.
Yeah, it's easy to do. But then when you go to places where the locals go, it's like, hey, this is beautiful. Hey, this is more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So just be open to trying different things. And different food, because there's some food I thought was very gross, looked gross, but when I ate it, it was nice.
An example?
Hot pot. That didn't look too scrumptious, but now I love it.
That's one of my favorite food. I like it in the summer when it's hot, which is weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm a bit weird, yeah. All right, well, thank you, brother.
Yes,
have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Don't forget to go out and try new things. Be kind to your neighbor. Come from a place of love, as you said.
Always.
Great lesson to teach your son, to teach my sons, to teach everyone. And I will see you in the next one.